Hello everyone. Today we are going to explain the process of mitosis, that is one of the method of cell division. All organisms that reproduce sexually develop from a single cell called as zygote or the fertilized egg, and the zygote is produced by the union of two cells such as male gamete and female gamete called as germ cells. Development from zygote to the full grown stage takes place by the division of the cells. So the zygote or the fertilized egg divides, redivides mitotically and grows or develops into a living organism. In multicellular animals, there are two types of cells, such as somatic cells and germ cells or the reproductive cells. The somatic cells are responsible for the formation of different parts of the body, and the germ cells are responsible for the formation of gametes, that is male and female gametes, such as sperms and ova, respectively. Mitosis or somatic cell division is the multiplication of somatic cells into daughter cells with equal size and both containing same number of chromosomes as that of the parent cells. The term mitosis refers to the thread-like appearance of the chromosomes in the early cell division. At the time of mitosis, nucleus become completely reorganized. The mitotic cycle is divided into series of phases known as prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and the telophase. So the process of mitosis, that is a type of cell division during which the chromosome number is maintained same in a daughter cells or in a newly formed cells, that is diploid to diploid. So the parental cell having two set of the chromosomes in the nucleus, that is retained same or maintained even in the daughter cells or the newly formed cells, means same chromosome number is maintained, and thus the process of cell division, that is mitosis, is called as a duplication division, or during which the chromosome number of the nucleus in the cell of a particular species maintained same in a next generation or in a successive cell division. The period between the mitotic cycle, the period between the two mitotic cycles is called as interphase. Means interphase is a long time phase of the cell cycle during which the cell undergoes different developmental phases or growth phases, that is G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. And mitosis is a short period of cell cycle during which cell divides into two daughter cells. So the period between two mitosis or two mitotic cycles is called as interphase. Mitosis involves a series of complex changes in both, that is nucleus as well as in the cytoplasm. So while the process of mitosis, there are several changes taking place in the nucleus first and then in the cytoplasm. The division of the nucleus is called as karyokinesis, and the division of the cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. So first we will explain the first prophase of the mitosis, first phase of the mitosis, that is prophase. So it is the longest stage of mitosis and may last for several hours. During prophase, the nucleus get enlarged and the chromosomes start to condense or to become short and thick by the process of folding of the chromatin fibers. Prophase chromosomes are composed of two coiled chromatids and which are result of replication of DNA during the S phase. So during synthetic phase, the chromosome material or the DNA material of the chromosome get duplicated, and thus the chromosomes are having two coiled chromatids produced during the S phase of the cell cycle. So the prophase chromosomes are composed of two coiled chromatids and which are a result of replication of the DNA during S phase. Chromatids are united or two chromatids of the chromosome are kept together, fused together by means of a centromere called as a diader. So this is the diagram representing interphase and prophase. So during interphase, the chromosomes in the nucleus are very thin, fine and coiled and are not much visible in the nucleus or in the nucleoplasm, and shows the complete structure of the nucleus enclosed by a nuclear membrane, intact nuclear membrane, and fine coiled, thin or very fine or ultra thin fibrous genetic material or the chromatin material is present in the nucleoplasm and possessing a prominent nucleolus, and cytoplasm possessing a centrosome consisting of two paired centrioles. So there are a pair of centrioles and each of the centriole is having a paired structures. So interphase showing the nucleolus and the nuclear envelope are distinct and the chromosomes are very thin in the form of thread-like or coiled chromatin material. While in a prophase, what happens? The nuclear membrane starts to disintegrate, or the chromosomes starts or begins to condense or to get separated from one another from the complex coiling. So the complex coiling of the chromatin material or the chromosomes in the nucleus begins to separate and starts its condension, that is shortening and thickening of the chromosomes, and chromosome become filamentous or become prominent during the prophase, and at the same time the centrosome divides into two centrioles or two paired centrioles uh, during the prophase. So centrioles get separate, and this separation or the movement of the centrioles away from one another is due to the development of microtubules or the spindle fibers between the two centrioles. So ultimately there is a separation of the centrioles, and which then moves or pushed towards the opposite poles of the cell. So this separation and separation and migration of the centriole begins during the prophase. So this is what the structures can be seen in the diagram. So in diagram we can see the nuclear membrane and coiled chromatin material begins to condense, or separation of the chromosomes and the condensation of the chromosomes begins in the nucleus, and the centrosome separating the paired centrioles, and which are then pushed away from one another due to the development or the formation of the microtubules or the spindle fibers in between. As prophase progresses, the chromatids become shorter and thicker. As prophase progresses or advances, the chromatids become shorter and thicker, and the chromosomes are evenly distributed in the nuclear cavity. Then the chromosomes migrate towards the nuclear envelope and leaving a central clear empty space in the center of the nucleus. At this point, each chromosome is composed of two cylindrical parallel elements. At this stage, each chromosome is composed or consisting of two cylindrical parallel elements called as chromatids, and which are kept together by means of centromere. And they show primary and secondary constrictions also. That is, primary constriction means a centromere keeping two chromatids or the strands of the chromosome together, and secondary constriction is a nucleolar zone or the nucleolar organizer. And then other changes are seen during the prophase are the reduction in a size of nucleolus. The size of the nucleoli, which are accompanied with the chromosomes or the chromatids, begins to reduce in a size, and their disintegration within the nucleoplasm. So nucleolus begins to disintegrate or reduction in a size and then disappears in the nucleoplasm. At the end of prophase, sorry, at the end of prophase, the nuclear envelope is rapidly fragmented and disappears, and releasing the nuclear material or the chromatin material into the cytoplasm. So during prophase, there is a separation of centrioles, passage of centrioles or the migration of centrioles away from one another by the formation of spindle fibers in between, and inside of the nucleolus, inside of the nucleus, the chromatin material begins to condense or to separate the chromosomes. Chromosome become thick and prominent or more filamentous, and at the same time, nuclear membrane begin to break down or breaks up and disappears finally. So the nuclear membrane is fragmented and finally disappears at the end of prophase, and the nuclear materials in the form of chromatin or the chromosomes get released into the cytoplasm. The most important change which occur in the cytoplasm, that is the spindle formation. So in the early prophase, there are two pair of centrioles and each surrounded by the aster. So there is a formation of aster around the centrioles composed of microtubules that radiate in all directions. So there is a aster formation, star-like component of the microtubules which are developed around the centrioles and even between the centrioles, that is a formation of chromosomal spindle fibers or the continuous spindle fibers are thus developed between the centrioles, and which then pushes two centrioles to the opposite end of the cells or the north and south pole of the cells due to the development or the formation of spindle fibers. The asters are cytoplasmic in origin, and the two pairs of centrioles migrate towards the opposite poles of the cell, and they are pushed apart or away from one another by the growth of the spindle fibers between the centrioles. The prometaphase, sometimes transition between prophase and metaphase is called as prometaphase. Transition between the prophase and metaphase is called as prometaphase, and this is a short period of time. This is a short period of time in which nuclear envelope disintegrates, nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane disintegrates completely, and the chromosomes are separated or chromosomes are released into the cytoplasm, where they get mixed, or the pair of the chromosomes, they get separating from one another. So this is a short period of time in which nuclear envelope disintegrates and the chromosomes get released in the cytoplasm and are apparent with a apparent disorder, means there is a separation and mixing of the different pairs of the chromosomes in the cytoplasm. There is no differentiation between the cytoplasm and nucleoplasm during the prometaphase. Such mitosis is called as extranuclear mitosis or the eumitosis. Then second phase of mitosis, that is metaphase. In this stage, the chromosomes reach or migrates. The chromosomes at the metaphase reach the central or equatorial portion, or in the middle of the cell or the equatorial portion of the cell between the spindles. So at the metaphase stage, the chromosomes reach to the equatorial portion of the spindle and they become oriented or arranged at the equator to form the equatorial plate. The fibers of the spindle, which are extending from the opposite poles into the center by means of spindle fibers, which are connecting the chromosomes, by in the regions of the centromere. So spindle fiber extending from the opposite poles of the cell in the center where the chromosomes are arranged in the equatorial plate. The spindle fiber get attached to the centromeres of the chromosomes, and the fibers of the spindle that connect to the chromosomes are called as chromosomal fibers, and those extend without interruption from one pole to the other pole are called as continuous fibers. So in metaphase, the chromosomes, which are very much condensed or thick or prominent, and get arranged at the equatorial plane, where the chromosomes are having the two chromatids which are kept together or attached together by means of centromeres. So the spindle fibers extending from the centromeres, centrioles, get attached to the centromeres of the chromosomes. So this is the diagram showing the cell containing the complete membrane covering, that is plasma membrane, and enclosing a cytoplasm and a nucleoplasm together, and showing the arrangement of the chromosomes at the equatorial plane together with the spindle fibers which are extending from the centrioles get connected to the centromeres of the homologous pairs of the chromosomes, or the complete set of the chromosomes which are arranged at equatorial plane, and the spindle fibers which are extending from the opposite poles and uh, passing inward or runs inward to get attached with the centromeres of the homologous of the pairs chromosome of that side. Usually, the arms of chromosomes lie on the equator of spindle. Usually, the arms or the chromatids of the chromosome lie on the equator of the spindle, and occasionally only the centromeres, lie on the equatorial plane, and the chromosome arms are directed towards the poles. Because this is because of pulling chromosomes in the centromere region by the spindle fiber. So connection between uh, centrioles and the centromeres of the chromosome, that is the spindle fibers which are getting contracted, and ultimately centromeres are pulled towards the pole, and the chromatids or the arms of the chromosome lie to the equatorial plane, and the centromeres are pulled to the opposite poles by means of spindle fibers. So mitosis in which the spindle has centrioles and asters is called as astral or amphiastral. The mitosis, or in which the process of mitosis in which the centrioles and asters are present is called as astral or amphiastral, and is found in the animal cells. So among the animals, the process of mitosis involves the pair of centrioles for the process of mitosis to undergo the separation of chromosomes uh, from one another, that is pulling the homologous paired chromosomes or the entire set of the chromosomes toward the opposite pole by means of the spindle fibers, and this type of mechanism of the mitosis occurs in the animal cells. So animal cells are possessing centrioles and development of the spindle fibers, and asters uh, called as the astral or amphiastral, and is found in the animal cells and some lower plants. Mitosis in which centrioles and asters are absent is called as anastral, and is found in the higher plants. So in case of plants, the process of mitosis during which there are uh, equatorial plate, are developed, and there are no spindles or the centrioles as such, similar to the cells of the animals, in which the process of mitosis uh, will involve the role of centriole and the spindle fibers to undergo the process of mitosis or various phases of the mitosis, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase of the telophase, which are taking place in the animal cells. There is a important role played by the spindle fibers and the centrioles for the separation of the chromosome complements during the mitosis. The formation of spindle in a astral mitosis, is a mechanism that leads to the distribution of the centrioles between the two daughter cells. So during cell division or during cytokinesis and formation of two daughter cells, the centrioles are also provided in a daughter cells or distributed in a daughter cell. So one pair of the centriole pass into one cell, and other pair of the centriole pass into the other cell during the cytokinesis or the division of the one cell into two daughter cells. So the formation of spindle and uh, in astral mitosis, the formation of spindle in astral mitosis is a mechanism that leads to the distribution of the centrioles between the two daughter cells. Spindles are of two types, direct and indirect. In the direct type, the chromosomal fibers, connect the chromosomes directly with the centromeres with the poles. And in indirect type, the chromosomes are connected with a continuous fibers, that is extending from one pole to the other pole. So continuous fibers will also connecting the chromosomes, but the spindle fibers called as chromosomal fibers, which are extending from the opposite poles and connecting the centromeres, called as direct spindle fibers or the chromosomal fibers. Then third phase of mitosis, that is anaphase. So during metaphase, the chromosomes are arranged to the equator line, centromeres and the spindles get attached to pull the chromosome set away from one another from the equatorial plane to the opposite poles, and nuclear membrane get completely disappeared in a metaphase, and chromosomes are arranged at the equatorial plane, and spindle fibers extending from the centrioles get connected with the centromeres of the chromosomes during the metaphase. Now in anaphase, the centromeres of the chromosome arranged on equatorial plane divide simultaneously. As anaphase commences, and the two chromatids of each pair separate. Means during the anaphase, what happens? The centromeres of the chromosomes, which have arranged on the equatorial plate or a plane, get divided. So centromeres divides, and simultaneously the chromatids of the chromosomes of each pair also separate. The chromatids of the chromosome, of each pair and the centromere separates, and they are now called as daughter chromosomes. So the centromeres move apart, and the chromatids also start moving towards the poles, and it is suggested that the chromosomes are pulled by the chromosomal fibers of the spindle. So after separation of the paired centromeres and the paired chromatids of the paired chromosomes, they are pulled away from one another by means of chromosomal fibers or the spindle fibers during the anaphase. So it is suggested that the chromosomes are pulled by the chromosomal fibers of the spindle. The chromosomes assume a shape of V with equal arms if it is metacentric, or unequal arms if it is the submetacentric. So that will depend upon the type of chromosome, whether it is metacentric, submetacentric, or acrocentric, right? So the spindle fibers getting attached to the centromeres of the each of the chromosome from the polar sides. So opposite poles which are extending the spindle fibers, which reaches up to the centromeres of the chromosome complements which have been arranged at the equatorial plane, and after which the spindle fibers or the protein filaments or the fibers or the microtubules of the spindle fiber get contracted. So ultimately pulling the set of the chromosomes of each side away from one another towards the poles. During anaphase, the microtubules of the chromosome during the anaphase, the microtubules of the chromosomal spindle shorten 1/3 to 1/5 of the original length, and this leads to the pulling of the chromosome complements from the equatorial plane to the opposite pole. So during anaphase, the microtubules of the chromosomal spindle shorten 1/3 to 1/5 of the original length, and simultaneously the microtubules of the continuous fibers increase in a length. Some of these stretched spindle fiber constitute the interzonal fiber. So this is what the spindle fibers which are performing their role in a separation or the movement of the chromosomes from the equatorial plane to the opposite poles of the cells during the anaphase. So this is a diagram showing, in first diagram we can see the early anaphase, where the spindle fibers extending from the centrioles of the opposite pole runs inward and getting attached with the centromeres of the chromosome. So chromatids of the chromosome which lie at the equatorial plane, and the centromeres are pulled away from equatorial plane by means of the spindle fiber. So this is the diagram, first diagram. In first diagram we can see the early pro-anaphase chromatids, which are seems to moving away from one another at equatorial plane, and these are pulled away from one another by means of chromosomal fibers of the spindle fiber attachment towards the centrioles or towards the opposite pole. In a late anaphase, you can see the chromosome complements or the two set of the chromosomes which have been arranged along the equator plane previously during metaphase or in a early anaphase, which are again pulled away one from one another or quite separating from one another and reaches to the opposite poles of the cells in the cytoplasm. And in a late anaphase, the total complement of the chromosome set is now pushed away from the equator line or is pulled up by the contracted centrioles, which have uh, decreased their length from 1/3 to 1/5. So there is a shortening of the microtubules of the spindle fiber, and this leads to the passage of chromosome complements or the set of the chromosomes towards the opposite poles during the anaphase. Then last phase, that is telophase, the end of the polar migration, that is the chromosomal complements which moves towards the opposite poles, that is the end of the polar migration. The end of the polar migration of the daughter chromosomes marks beginning of the telophase. So the chromosome complements now have been passed away or now placed in the opposite pole regions or towards the opposite poles or the polar ends of the cell. Chromosome complements or the daughter chromosomes or total set of the daughter chromosomes now have migrated to the opposite ends of the cells, and this marks the beginning of the telophase. So the chromosomes start to fold and become less and less condensed. Means chromosome become the chromosome become again thin and getting less condensed or fine fibrils in the form of fine fibrils of the chromatin material, and thus telophase is the reverse of the prophase. The spindle fibers disappears. So during telophase, the spindle fibers which are the connections, the spindle fibers which are the connections between the centromeres and the centrioles get disappeared during the telophase. The chromosomes then aggregate or gather or comes together into the masses of the chromatin at the polar ends and become surrounded by a discontinuous fragments or the segments of the nuclear envelope which are provided by the endoplasmic reticulum, and such fragments or the segments of the nuclear envelope or the membranes of the endoplasmic reticulum fuse together around the chromatin material and forming a two daughter nuclei to the opposite end of the cell. So this is what the events occurring during the telophase. So chromosomes which have passed away from one another and reached finally to the polar ends of the cell, the chromatin mass then become less condensed or become thin or getting coiled in chromatin in the form of a mass of chromatin, coiled mass of the chromatin uh, to the polar ends, and ultimately there is formation of discontinuous segments or the fragments of the nuclear envelope which have been provided by the endoplasmic reticulum so as to form the new nuclear envelope around the chromatin mass at the polar ends, and ultimately these segments fuse to form the complete nuclear envelope around the daughter nuclei, and thus at the end of telophase the two daughter nucleus are formed at the polar ends of the dividing cell. The nucleoli reappear at constrictions called as nucleolar organizers. So one of the pair of the chromosome among the total set of or the complement paired chromosomes or total complements or the total set of the chromosomes, among which there is one pair of the chromosome to which there is a nuclear organizer, and the nucleolus starts to reappear in the region of the nucleolar zone or the nuclear organizer in one of the pair of chromosome. And each daughter cell gets the same complement of the nuclei. Each daughter cell gets the same complement of the nuclei at the same site as that of the parent cell. So, same diploid chromosome number or the chromatin material containing same number of chromosomes or the set in the daughter cells as that of the similar as that of the parental cell. Means whatever the chromosome number of the particular species or the cell that is now provided or distributed in the nucleus of the two daughter cells. So, same diploid set of the chromosome now present in the daughter nucleus of the daughter cells or the dividing cells at the end of telophase. And finally, the cytokinesis. It is the division of cytoplasm of the cell following the division of the nucleus. So, at the telophase, two daughter nuclei are formed and there is a formation of division furrow from the side or the periphery of the membrane or the plasma membrane of the cell. So, from the surface of plasma membrane of the cell along the middle or along the equator line or equator region, there is a formation of division from the plasma membrane which deepens into the interior, which deepens inward. So, division furrow deepens inside at the equatorial line, and thus it runs, the division furrow deepens until it meet and divide into two daughter cells. So, cytokinesis is the division of the cytoplasm of cell following the division of the nucleus. So, after the division of nucleus during the telophase, the cytoplasm also divides and it differs in plants and animal cells. Cytokinesis in animal cells, cytokinesis in animal cells proceeds by the process of furrowing at the equatorial region. Cytokinesis in animal cells proceeds by the process of formation of division furrow by furrowing or by forming the division furrow at the equatorial region from outside into the cytoplasm. The division furrow is deepened until the cell divides. So, this division furrow which have formed from the surface of the cell in the region of equatorial plane pass inward, division furrow deepened to the inside until the cell divides. The two cells may be equal in a size or may be quite unequal. So, the two cells may be equal or unequal, and that is due to the passage of division furrow along the equatorial plane, and finally the cell divides into two daughter cells. So, cells may be daughter cells or newly formed cells might be equal or unequal in size. In case of plants, there is a formation of cell plate. In plant cells, there is a formation of cell plate between two group of chromosomes. In plant cells, there is a formation of a cell plate between the two set of chromosomes or between the two group of the chromosomes, and this cell plate grow from the middle towards the periphery of the cell and finally joins to the cell wall, and this plate forms the membrane separating the two cells. During cytokinesis, the cytoplasmic components, during cytokinesis, the cytoplasmic contents or cytoplasmic organelles are distributed evenly or equally into the daughter cells, including the mitochondria and the Golgi complex also. So, in case of plants, there are no centrioles or there is no spindle fiber attachment developed during the metaphase or anaphase, but there is a cell plate formed between the two set of the chromosomes and which is present in the middle of the cell at the equatorial plane, which then grows towards the periphery and then divides the cell into two daughter cells. Means there is no spindle fiber present in the plants, or there are no centrioles present in the plants so as to pull the chromosome complements away from one another. So there is a formation of division plate or the equatorial plate in between. So that will divide the two daughter cells uh, during the mitosis in a plant cell. So there is a formation of cell plate. Instead of spindles, there is a formation of cell plate. The cell plate grows from the middle towards the periphery and finally joins the surrounding cell wall of the dividing cell, and this plate then forms the membrane and separating the two cells. During cytokinesis, the cytoplasmic contents or the components, that is, all the cell organelles, are distributed equally, including the mitochondria and Golgi complex into the daughter cells. So, this is our the cytokinesis. Now, this is the figure showing the early telophase, middle telophase, and the later telophase. So, in early telophase, what happens? The chromosome complements which have reached to the opposite end of the cell. Then there is a in a middle telophase. What happens? The chromatids of the chromosome become less and less condensed, and the chromosomal or the chromatin material or the chromosomal mass become coiled to form a daughter nuclei at the polar ends. Then at the same time, the fragments from uh, endoplasmic reticulum or the nuclear envelope that surrounds the nuclear material or the chromatin mass to form the nuclear envelope around the chromatin mass, which have aggregated at the polar ends, and there is a formation of new nuclear envelope or the membrane around the chromatin material so as to form new nucleus that can be seen in the middle phase. And in a last diagram showing late telophase, where there is a formation of complete uh, entire nuclear envelope around the chromatin material, including or enclosing the two set of the chromosomes in the daughter nucleus. So such two daughter nuclei are formed at the opposite ends at the end of telophase. And at the same time, after formation of two daughter nuclei, with the complete development of the nuclear membrane enclosing the chromatin material or the two chromosome complement of the set inside, after which there is a formation of cleavage furrow or the division furrow from the side at the middle or at the equatorial plane, or the along the entire equatorial plane from the periphery of the cell, there is a formation of division furrow or a cleavage furrow which deepens, which moves inward and finally meets in the center to form the membrane in between the two daughter nuclei and ultimately separating the two cells or dividing the entire cell into two daughter cells with a approximately equal amount of cytoplasm and the daughter nucleus. So this is the diagram showing early telophase, then middle telophase, and the later telophase. So this is about the process of mitosis. Now we'll explain the significance of the mitosis. Significance of mitosis. The first significance of mitosis: equal distribution of the chromosome. In the process of mitosis, the chromosomes are equally distributed to the daughter cells. In the process of mitosis, the chromosomes, the chromosomes or the chromatin material of the parental nucleus is divided into two parts, and there is a equal distribution or the division of the chromosomes into the two daughter cells, and thus constant number of chromosomes in all cells of the body of organism is maintained due to the mitosis. So the chromosome number or the chromosome complement or the set of chromosomes, there are two set of the chromosomes with a specific number, is enclosed or introduced in the daughter nucleus of the dividing cells. So there is a equal distribution of the chromosomes in a two daughter cells, and this happens during the process of mitosis. So in the process of mitosis, the chromosomes are equally distributed into the two daughter cells, and thus the constant or the same chromosome number of the chromosome is maintained in all cells of the body of organism due to the process of mitosis. Then surface volume ratio. Mitosis also maintain the surface volume ratio of the cell. As the cell increases in size, the available surface area in relation to increased volume become less. And due to mitosis or cell division type of mitosis, the cell becomes smaller in size and surface volume ratio is restored. Then thirdly, the nucleoplasmic index. A cell can't grow in a size. A cell can't grow in a size to a large extent without disturbing the ratio between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. After a particular size has been reached, the cell divides to maintain the nucleoplasmic index, and thus the growth takes place by an increase in a number of cells, rather than by increase in a size of cells. Means during the growth there is a maintenance of surface volume ratio in the cell and also the nucleoplasmic index, that is there is a certain ratio of the nucleoplasm and cytoplasm in the cell. If it is exceeding, at that time the cell divides into two daughter cells instead of increasing the size of nucleus or the size of cell. Instead of increasing the size of nucleus or the volume of cytoplasm, there is a cell division. So the growth occurs by increasing the cell, and thus the growth of the organism occurs, the growth of the organism or the growth of cell occurs not by increasing the size but by increasing the number. That is, the growth takes place by an increase in a number of cells rather than by increase in a size of cell. Then fourth significance of the cell, that mitosis, that is repair. Repair of the body takes place by addition of cells by the mitosis. So while growth and repair of the body of organism, it takes place by addition of cells, by increasing the number of cells by the process of mitosis. Cells are constantly removed during growth and repair. Cells are constantly removed or sloughed off, dying and being replaced by new ones. So during repair, the cells are increased in a number so as to repair the particular tissue, or cells are constantly removed by either by dying or death and being replaced by the new ones. So during growth and repair, the number of cells get increased, while removing the cells due to the death of cells. After death of certain cells, the worn out or dead cells are removed, and in place of dead cells, new cells are formed by the process of cell division. So cells are constantly removed, and the dying cells or the dead cells are replaced by formation of the new cells by the process of mitosis, and this happens in the skin and the digestive tract. So the process of repair, which occur regularly and constantly in the various body tissues such as the skin or the digestive tract, where the dead cells are removed and the new cells are replaced or formed by the process of mitosis during the repair. When damaged tissue are repaired, the new cells must be the exact copies of the cells being replaced so as to retain the normal function of the cells. So while the process of repair, the same type of cells, the old cells or the damaged cells of the tissue are removed, and in place of which there are new cells are formed by the process of mitosis with the same type of cell and which perform the same function in the tissue or organs of the organism. So when damaged tissues are repaired, the new cells are formed. The new cells are formed with exact copies of the cells being replaced so as to retain the normal function of the cells. And finally, the regeneration. Some of the animals can regenerate part of their body. Some animals shows regeneration. Some animals shows the phenomenon of regeneration of the part of the body. Production of new cells in such cases is achieved by the mitosis. So process of regeneration which is taking place in some animals where the part of the body of the organism, where the part of the body or the tissues of the body of an organism can be regenerated by the process of mitosis. So production of new cells in a regenerating part or the tissue or the organ of the animal occurs by the process of mitosis. So these are the significance of the mitosis, such as equal distribution of the chromosomes, maintenance of volume ratio, surface volume ratio. So significance of mitosis are first one, that is equal distribution of the chromosomes. Equal distribution of the chromosomes in the two daughter cells, that is maintenance of same chromosome number, diploid chromosome number in a two daughter cells as that of the parental cell or of a species. Then maintenance of surface volume ratio. Thirdly, maintaining nucleoplasmic index. Then fourth, that is a process of mitosis is a very significant or playing important role in the repair and also the regeneration of the lost part of the body or the tissue in a certain organism. So repair and regeneration also involves the process of mitosis for the formation of new cells during the repair, during the growth, and even during the regeneration of the tissues or organs or the lost body part of certain animals during the regeneration. So these are the some of the significance of the mitosis. So this is about the process of mitosis and uh, significance of the mitosis. So today with this we'll stop here, and next time we will continue with the next topic, that is process of meiosis. Thank you.